The Florentine Codex stands as one of the most remarkable and comprehensive works ever produced during the colonial period of the Americas. It is a 12-volume encyclopedia that captures the culture, beliefs, and way of life of the Aztec civilization at the moment it was being transformed and in many ways destroyed by the Spanish conquest. Compiled under the guidance of the Franciscan friar Bernardino de Sahagun between 1547 and 1577, the Codex reflects both a deep curiosity and a moral urgency to record what was rapidly disappearing. While the Spanish conquest of Mexico brought devastation, disease, and the forced conversion of indigenous peoples, Sahagun sought to understand before erasing, to listen before preaching. He believed that true evangelization required understanding the spiritual and cultural foundations of the people he aimed to convert. Sahagun's work was far from solitary effort. The Florentine Codex was created through close collaboration between European friars and a number of highly educated indigenous scholars, artists, and scribes who had been trained in the newly established Spanish colonial schools. These men, fluent in Nahuatl, Spanish, and Latin, acted as translators, researchers, and illustrators. Together, they interviewed Aztec elders, those who had lived before and through the Spanish invasion, to gather their memories, myths, and traditions. What they recorded was nothing short of an intellectual monument. 12 books containing 2,446 pages of text and 2,472 illustrations, covering everything from religion, astrology, and philosophy to flora, fauna, daily life, and the Aztec interpretation of the conquest itself. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Florentine Codex is its bilingual format. Each page features parallel texts in Spanish and Nahuatl, though they are not direct translations of one another. The Spanish version often summarizes or alters what the Nahuatl expresses, sometimes adding or omitting information. For this reason, modern scholars emphasize that the Codex must be read as a dialogue between two voices, one indigenous, the other colonial. Together, these voices reflect the tension, translation, and transformation of two worlds colliding. This duality also mirrors the broader reality of 16th century Mexico, where cultures, languages, and religions intertwined under the shadow of conquest. Visually, the Florentine Codex is as extraordinary as its text. The manuscript is filled with detailed and colorful illustrations painted by indigenous artist scholars, known as Tlaquehuac, literally, painters of words. These artists drew from both Aztec and European traditions, merging pre-Hispanic pictorial symbols with Western composition techniques. Elements such as curling speech scrolls to represent dialogue and seashells on waves to symbolize water reflect a uniquely Aztec visual vocabulary that survived within a European framework. In doing so, the Tlaquehuac transformed the Codex into a visual conversation, a fusion of two artistic worlds. Their paintings gave shape to an identity that colonialism could not fully suppress, preserving fragments of a worldview that had once dominated the Valley of Mexico. Though Sahagun's name is most often associated with the Codex, it is, in truth, a product of collective memory. The indigenous scholars and elders who contributed to it did so with courage and purpose, knowing that they were documenting a civilization facing extinction. Through their testimonies, ancient knowledge found a way to endure. While Sahagun's motivation was largely religious, he aimed to better understand indigenous beliefs to replace them with Christianity. His project inadvertently became a powerful act of preservation. It immortalized the very culture colonialism sought to erase. Today, the Florentine Codex is preserved in the Biblioteca Medicia Lorenziana in Florence, Italy, from which it takes its name. Scholars continue to study it as one of the most detailed ethnographic sources ever created about pre-Columbian America. It offers not only information, but also insight, a rare opportunity to witness history written from both sides of the conquest. Beyond its value as a historical document, the Codex symbolizes the resilience of knowledge, the endurance of memory, and the human desire to be remembered. Ultimately, The Florentine Codex is far more than an old manuscript. It is a bridge between two worlds, between indigenous memory and European narrative, between conquest and survival. Through its pages, the voices of the Aztec people continue to speak across centuries, whispering their truths in both words and images. Their message is timeless. We were here. We lived. Remember us.